Allegedly, it's just the word allegedly. It's what I heard allegedly. It's on the street allegedly. I sing to the beat allegedly. Allegedly, allegedly, it's what I heard allegedly. It's just the word allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue allegedly. It won't help you allegedly. 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 Bitch, one of you was flat.
One more time for the cheap seats.
Allegedly, it's just the word allegedly. It's what I heard allegedly. It's on the street allegedly. I sing to the beat allegedly. Allegedly, allegedly, it's what I heard allegedly. It's just the word allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue allegedly. It won't help you allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Flat, honey. Flat. We have a couple more hot topics, and I figured, you know what? Let's have a little late night chit chat about it. A little hot pocket update. Now, for starters, let's clap it up for Heffa Spears. She has made her final child support payment last Friday for Jaden, Jaywin, one of them names. She made her final $10,000 a month payment. Now I guess we all get to see what Kevin Federline has saved with that money. Probably nothing. But I'm sure he's going to find some woman to take care of him. He seems like that type of divining rod kind of man where he can always find a woman to lay up under. Get it how you live, I guess. It is about to be homosexual season. Somebody gonna feed him. Somebody gonna feed him. Men like that always land on their back in another woman's bed. I'll never forget, one of my girlfriends was able to spot a homosexual. She said, oh, just look at his pictures. It's always in a girl's room. It's never in a guy's room. She's like, that's how I know what guys' rooms look like, because their pictures always be in girls' rooms. I was like, little tip. In more pink toe news, Kroy Bierman will be using bankruptcy to escape paying the bills that Kim Zolciak is trying to saddle him with in their divorce battle. And he has apparently paid $2,000 for his attorney to watch Kim flirt with Chet Hayes on The Surreal Life and use it in their divorce proceedings. He spent $181,000 on lawyers so far. Now, I want to know, where did Kroy find $181,000? Don't tell me he out on OnlyFans too. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, and I sure don't want to smell it. But somebody paid for it. I'm like, where else you getting the money? Because Kim ran through everything. So where did this $181,000 come from? I'm like, I'm sorry. If they were Black, they would have been in debtor's prison by now. And we don't even have debtor's prison. Where is this money coming from? I want the press. I want the damn printing press. Shit, if they got it, if they trash asses can get it, I should too. Bump the bull. And speaking of bumping the bull, did you hear this story? Apparently, somewhere down in Southern California, 4 men were arrested for insurance fraud and conspiracy because here's what they did. They dressed up, one of them dressed up as the bear and mauled a very expensive car, like a Rolls Royce, and mauled a Rolls Royce. And I mean, let me show you. I'm gonna share the screen. Look at what they used for the claws. And they have footage of them breaking in. And they said, this is clearly a human being in a bear costume. Could you imagine being a defendant in court and having the prosecutor say that's clearly not a bear? And then, oh wait, hold on. I'm not showing you the video. And then, or rather the pictures. And then look at the scratches. They said that was a bear. They said that. See, this is what happens when you don't watch the Nature Channel with your grandmother. Because I watched the Nature Channel with my grandmama. I know that bear would have torn that car up. Oh my God. And the thing is, it's California. We have bears. Y'all were just lazy. Take that damn car to a park, leave the doors open, and put some honey and some food in there. Either the bears or the coyotes or the raccoons, something will get in there. Oh my God. So now they're going to prison for insurance fraud. I mean, I can only imagine being the lawyer and having to say, that's clearly a man in a bear outfit. Y'all remember that cartoon, The Bear That Wasn't? The bear that wasn't a bear at all. Oh my God, that's what it must have inspired this. The bear that wasn't. What was that? A Chuck Jones cartoon or Friz Freeling? I think it was a Chuck Jones. I love Chuck Jones' work. In Audible Gay Gasp news, Cher is to release part 1 of her memoir next week. I will be listening to the audiobook. This delves into her early life, including childhood and her complex relationship with Sonny Bono, which propelled them to fame. Yeah, I'm interested. And then the second volume will be released in 2025. Cher has enough life for a 2-parter. Exactly, looks like a kitty did that damage. A Party City Bear. But I'm looking forward to hearing from Cher. Offset was involved in a Paris brawl over a Soured Music video deal. Child, you need to go on and try to get back with Cardi B. Or is Takeoff the one with Cardi B? I can't remember, but they both need a little help. They need a little guidance. I know that you lost Quavo, but we need to get the group, like y'all are still a duo. We still enjoyed the music. Maybe that era is over. And speaking of that era being over, Marlo Hampton and Sanya Richards-Ross agree that Phaedra Parks is above the Housewives of Atlanta. Phaedra Parks is 5'0", so there's very few things she's above. But this is the same woman that wanted to make fun of women that maybe didn't find a partner, and so they decided to take control of their own fertility and go to a sperm bank. She wanted to say, now check that. Phaedra's not above that, though. Phaedra's not above getting pregnant by a felon on an air mattress while she's unwed. She's not above that, though. We can check that as well. Phaedra's not above marrying that felon and then allegedly setting him up to be her patsy yet again. She's not above that as well. She's not above pretending to be Phaedra Braxton rather than Phaedra Parks. She's not above that as well. She's not above lying and saying that people would assault and incapacitate a woman. And if that had not been caught, that could have been at a black man's door. You're not above that, are you? But you're above Housewives of Atlanta. Interesting. Interesting. So many things she's beneath, but she's above Housewives of Atlanta. Really? Must have gotten some heels since we met last. However, in Hot Pocket Alert news, child, Eddie is telling all of your business, Teddi, Tramp, Mellencamp. And your father was the tramp. I'm not sure if your mother was a tramp too, but your father was the tramp. And so that's where you get your trampish ways. That's why you feel it's appropriate to have apparently multiple affairs on your family, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm not saying you did it, but this is the words out of your husband's mouth. Edwin has been very concerned over Teddi and Kyle's friendship getting more flirtatious over the past 12 months. They were getting closer than he was comfortable with, a source shared to the Zone on Instagram. He saw it firsthand, or first finger. He really thought there was something going on betwixt them, but then was shocked to find out she was cheating with the horse trainer. I don't think it was instead, Eddie. I think it was in tandem. I think it was in tandem. What would stop Teddi from having an affair with Kyle and the horse trainer? She's certainly not raising her kids or being an accountability coach. So she has a lot of free time to tramp around. That's the only word I could use for it, because you saw yourself and then you were surprised that it was with the horse trainer. No, follow your intuition. We tell women to follow it all the time. You need to follow yours too. She's cheating with them both. You're in denial. Your wife is a hussy. And that's the nice word for it. I mean, this is all alleged, but the husband is alleging it. I'm not. The husband said it. I want to open up the line for this hot pocket alert. I want to open up the line for this hot pocket alert. I want to know, anybody else believe that she's cheating with them both? And I want to know, why do you want full custody of children when you've got 2 affairs to juggle? That's a lot of genitals in the air. An accountability coach, or is it accountability coach? I am flabbergasted, but also fascinated. Teddi, you've been interesting all this time. You've been lying and conniving to everyone all this time. 2 affairs? I didn't know you had it in you. You're worse than Kenya. 2 affairs. I mean, I'm not saying it's true. This is all alleged from your husband. Who's the words were, saw it firsthand. Now, I'm just reading the article here. I'm not saying this is the gospel truth. She might not have had an affair with either of them. She said there are many sides to stories. And there seem to be many sides to these entanglements. Interesting entanglements. Let's read on. Now, I want to know, okay, let's see. Just before the scandal broke, Teddi and Edwin were photographed outside of their LA home on Thursday. She was seen looking somber in tan loungewear and a Dodgers hat as she waited for someone to pick her up, standing with a large suitcase. Mm-hmm. And they have 3 children. 3 children in the marital home. They're getting along for their sake. But are they, if you're having 2 affairs? Because I'm sorry, if your husband was picking up that you were having an affair with Kyle, I believe that man was right. Y'all been married for 20-something years. He know your butt. He knows when you're cheating and he knows when you're faithful. Like she knows, he knows. With those teeth, the trainer, she needs Kyle's for cooch safety. I could imagine that. She has toys and travels. What does a tramp do? A tramp travels around, usually by foot. But some tramps have a car. Was the suitcase on the front lawn? No, she was with it. She was heading somewhere, I guess to her next affair. Maybe maybe they have a timeshare marriage. That's what it seems like. Maybe she's moving from accountability cooch to timeshare twat. That's what it seems like, because we've seen her with Kyle. We all thought that her and Kyle had something going on, because I mean, her and Kyle were just all up in each other's face like the women on Ladies of Brewster Place. You forgot to close the blinds last night, and I saw you. I saw you. Stepping out of the shower, naked as you please, calling for the other one to bring you a towel. I saw you. I saw you. Oh my God. Oh. Let me see if I can. That is one of the best scenes ever, by the way. Oh my God. Who wants to shoot me on this? This is too much. I am too much, but not quite. Oh. 2 affairs. I mean, Teddi Mellencamp, you got kicked off the show for not having enough storyline. I mean, remember when Sutton Strack said, "Oh, and pregnant," and you had an affair with someone on the show under Mauricio's nose. And honestly, that marriage has been open for years, like allegedly, alleged. But you had supposedly, allegedly, an affair with Kyle and an affair with the horse trainer. You could have blown Housewives up. You could have been that girl that you wanted to be so bad. You would not be Kyle's +1 on 2 T's and a pod. You would be Center Diamond of all the Center Diamonds. You would be Galandria. With all this drama, with all this because you've upgraded from tramp. I mean, you were top tramp breaking up 2 families, but now a third? Kyle Richards Umansky, that upgrades you to Huzzy, the Huzzy of Hollywood. Oh my God, the Huzzy of Hollywood. I mean, allegedly juggling 2 affairs and a marriage. How do you find the energy with that low-calorie diet? How do you hold yourself accountable to 2 extramarital partners? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm fascinated. I am genuinely fascinated. Well, I guess that is where we're going to close it off on this Hot Pocket update. On this Huzzy report. 2 affairs, allegedly. But I could say, oh, wait, P is coming in. Oh, wait, hold on. You got to connect your mic, hon. Okay. Or wait, hold on. You ready? I exactly didn't know she had it in her. 3, I couldn't imagine. Like, 1 man is enough for me. 1 man is enough for me. Would I let him cheat in peace? At some point, sure, because I understand human nature. But I don't need to cheat in peace. You are enough. I will be the boyfriend that let you know your ass is enough. I ain't going nowhere.
Yes, I'm in my face mask. I have to look gorgeous when I come up here.
Well, honey, I love this because we are real. This is a This is why I do not dress up. I do not stand on ceremony. This is how we are. You know, this is our friends in the hallway.
Okay. Somewhere Lisa Vanderpump is having a field day.
Ooh.
Okay. Somewhere she is having, her and Ken are having the best day, well, month of their life. Okay. And yeah, John, he did cheat on Teddy's mother. And I remember an episode of The Real Housewives where Teddi was sitting there talking about it with Kyle, crying, basically demonizing her father. But you was out here sleeping around with how many different men?
And women.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Because he really thought that she was having an affair with Kyle, and he's leaking this to the press. Like he's the quote unquote source.
Really?
Well, I mean, think about it. Who else would the source be that's close to him?
That's true.
That's feeding In Touch Weekly. Because it's like it's not like they're the president where it's like, okay, there are people around them that, you know, aren't really supposed to be privy to their business. No, they're a normal ass family. The only one leaking that is him.
Mm-hmm. So I do remember that. And the fact that, and really what you said last night, I agree with. This is her clamoring to get back on Bravo in some capacity. But you didn't translate well. None of us liked you. You were annoying. You were a know-it-all. I mean, how many times did Dorit lay her ass out?
Girl.
Okay. How many?
But then wanted to call me vile when at BravoCon, I said, why do you keep thrusting Telly Mellencamp upon these women when they clearly don't like her?
Right. And they don't.
And girl, if you had been there to hear the roar from the audience. Now, I've been doing stand-up for a while. That was one of the largest audience responses I've gotten in my many years of performing.
I saw it on Instagram and I heard it and I busted out loud and started laughing. And I said, finally, the question that needs to be asked, because every time we watch an episode, here you go, like you said, thrusting Teddi upon us. She's not interesting. She's
now she
not.
is.
Well, maybe with this affair, yeah, but anything else, no, she's not. And I'm sorry. She has poor taste in men anyway, because like I said, her husband, well, now her ex, he looks like fucking Skeletor, pardon my French. He does.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Skeletor, her ex. But do I believe he cheated on her?
Yes. He said as much.
Well, here's the thing. How do we know that she didn't start cheating first and he did it as payback?
Well, I feel like this is a California couple with a couple dollars. It's more about how you cheat. Rather, like, we know the cheating is going to happen. It's California culture. It's very like open relationships here, very California culture. Like I was shocked when I was like, oh, they really weren't kidding. That's how y'all really get down. So it's regard. So I feel like, yes, he probably had someone on either you have the girlfriend across town and it's, you know, unspoken and she don't get pregnant, or it's, I just like to go out and have one night stands. And it's like, okay, don't bring home no diseases, don't bring home no babies, I don't care.
Right.
And
however, no, go ahead, hon.
And you go out and do the same and nobody, you know, catches any feelings.
Right. I personally think she's been cheating throughout the whole entire marriage. I think he knew about it, which is why he probably got his get back to see if it was going to hurt her. It probably didn't, because in my opinion, Teddy's a narcissist. And to me, the diabolical part is you don't sleep with a man whose wife is giving birth.
That's why I said it's about how you cheat. Like, this is why California, like, everybody lives in like these certain towns, but then they go party in other towns. And that's why people always are getting DUIs here, because you live in one town, you go cheat 2 towns over.
Right.
That's where like people from maybe further up the coast will go down to the quiet woman and they'll cheat there because they're not gonna run into you again.
Right.
She's
But
cheating too close to home. You're shitting where you eat. You got to take that cheating down to, you know, Los Angeles or something. It's down to San Diego. If you're gonna cheat in LA, if you live in LA, you cheat in San Diego or San Francisco. You take a quick flight.
all I know is I knew she was BS when I first saw her. Because when anyone has to say, I'm an accountability coach, I hold people accountable. No, you don't, because you, Dorit, Kyle, and I'm going to throw Erica on it too. We're in on getting Lisa Vanderpump off the show. And Rinna, because she's so forgettable. I forgot about her. But
oh God, Rinna, oh my God. I wonder what Rinna is thinking about all this.
Rinna can't say anything because her man is with his man. Okay? Rinna and that rat-infested house need to keep their mouth shut.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've never liked her. And then also, too, the way that Teddi treated Denise. And Denise didn't even deserve that.
Sorry.
I mean, to me, it's funny. I find it hilarious that she's finally getting the karma that she deserves, along with Dorit, because again, for years, both her and Kyle, because let's not forget, they were always vying for Lisa's friendship and attention. And what better way to get rid of Lisa so that they can be friends? But you know what? I do believe that Dorit is messing around with Mauricio, because there are pictures have been leaked of her going on vacation with just him.
Really?
Yeah. There was one picture that was circulating where they were out and about at some villa together and Kyle was nowhere around. So no, I believe that where there's smoke, there's fire. I believe he has been cheating on Kyle with Dorit. And I believe PK knows about it and just does not care.
I think he doesn't either. I think he's ready for somebody to take that. I think he looks at her as a bill right now and is ready for somebody to take that off his hands. And she wants somebody rich.
Mauricio is not rich. I'm sorry. He's not. Okay. I'll say he's middle class because, I mean, the rich one in the marriage was Kyle. I'm sorry. She's a Hilton. I'm sorry. And not to mention when you did start your own real estate business, you stole their clients.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't see him being rich at all, but I really, really do think that Mauricio and Dorit have been having an affair, and I think Kyle knew about it.
I think so. Hell, she might have set it up.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely see them having swinger evenings in a hot tub. I could definitely see Dorit. I could see Dorit and Kyle having a bump moment. I could see them bumping a pocketbook and losing a little change. And I could also see her, like Dorit, knowing about Kyle's lesbonics and Kyle telling her, honey, if you want to keep Mauricio busy, you feel free.
And also, too, there was cracks in that relation, in their friendship anyway, because let's go back to the last season when her and Kyle were like in the car together. Kyle was very dismissive of her. She was like, no, business as usual. I'm just filming this for a check. That's fine that you feel that way, but I don't care. I'm living my life. Like, there were cracks in their friendship.
True.
And I think that Kyle basically was like, I have more in common with let's just call a spade, with my girlfriend You know, I can be real, I can be authentic, I can be myself around her. Whereas with Dorit, because let's face it, Dorit does have a tendency to make things about her.
Yes.
And Kyle was probably like, I'm sick of her. I'm like, you know, if I stub my toe, she stubbed hers like 3 days ago.
Yes.
And I think that Kyle is just very sick of her. And also too, and Kyle would never admit this, but I can tell she probably regrets choosing Dorit over Lisa Vanderpump.
Ah.
I think she really regrets that. And it's telling because when everything broke that Kyle and Mauricio were getting a divorce and they asked LVP, she was graceful about it. She said that it's really sad because they really loved each other. And she said she hoped Kyle is okay and that she gets through this. And Kyle probably saw that and was like, crap, I actually had a real genuine friend, but I chose that over someone that was really genuine. So also too, I think she regrets that whole situation. But here's the thing. She's friends with Teddi, so she knows that Lisa Vanderpump will not give her the time of day.
Yeah, that bridge is burnt.
Oh yeah. It's burnt and it's never going to it's not going to heal itself. It's not going to repair itself. And to be honest with you, this is just how I've always felt. I've always felt like Lisa Vanderpump was too good for the Real Housewives. That's just my opinion. That's just how I have always felt because did she ever have a storyline? No, I think she was just there to make the other women feel bad because she actually has money and a husband, and
Well,
the other women didn't.
yeah. And well, the thing is, like, you can't have like all born, like, you need a mix. You need like the scrappy one that's trying to get there. You need like, they always have like the working actress, like an Eileen or a Garcel.
Right.
Um, you've got, the one that's about to you've got like the messy one, like Kim.
Mm-hmm. Which I feel so bad for Kim. She was doing so well until she had a breakdown. Mm. I was really rooting for Kim. I actually really like Kim.
I like Kim too.
I do. I hope she finally gets her life together because I think Kim's biggest issue is she needs to keep Kyle out of her life.
You think it's Kyle?
I do. I think that because, first of all, Kyle is a failed actress. You were in one movie as a child, Halloween, and I didn't even know that that was you. Kim was the breadwinner. Okay. Kim was in a lot. You could actually consider Kim to be part of the Brat Pack because she was in a lot of films as a kid. And there are a slew of pictures of her hanging with, Rick James, Robert Downey Jr., James Spader, all these people. She was the one with the talent. I'm sorry, but Kyle is a bad actress. I'm sorry. She's not believable. She's annoying, but she ain't believable. So, but yeah, I do. I think Kyle is the number one problem in the group because I think it's messed up how everyone else is forced to share their life, but you will not share yours. That is not fair.
But I feel like that happens on all of the shows.
True.
On Married to Medicine, Heavenly won't share her life. On
Mm-mm.
Potomac, Karen ain't really talking about that marriage. And Giselle ain't giving you nothing personal either.
No, Giselle is just there as she's the face. She's the brand, if you really want my opinion, because she's been on there for so long. But I will say them firing Robin honestly was the best decision because, or maybe it's just me, Giselle seems quite likable. That is, go ahead.
I have a theory about that. I think Giselle knows she's got one season. This may be her last, or not definitely next season. It's like, okay, girl, this is an R for rebrand, because you don't want to get off the show and have that as everybody's last taste in your mouth, because you're not going to get the opportunities. You're not going to get asked back. Like, you want to leave on a high note. So her and Wendy, and I feel like Wendy also is like, okay, now that I don't have anybody coming at me, I have to like really shine and show why I'm here. And I never really got that chance because, you know, either you and Robin were icing me out or Mia was hitting me with her purse. So I was never really able to shine.
I'm quite sick of Mia, to be honest with you. Like,
that lying heifer.
I can't, you know, especially when she's always, I can't stand her, and I can't stand her mealy mouth friend, Jacqueline. I can't stand either of those two. I don't even know why Jacqueline is on the show, to be honest with you. And I don't like people like Mia who play in my face. Like, you're asking me, how are you? Do you need to talk? And blah, blah, blah. Then when we get around a group, you're dogging me in front of everyone. I'm sorry, but no. That is not going to happen. I do not like her at all. And she cannot keep her lies straight for the life of her.
No, that's why I asked her at BravoCon, will you be able to keep your timeline of events straight this season?
Child, she couldn't even answer it. She was like trying to laugh it off. And I was like, so I guess that's a no. You just going to keep lying. Which is what she's been doing. And I don't even think any of the women care for her that much. I think they just have her around just to piss Karen off. But Karen is like, I am not going to let this creature rent any space in my head because I got too much going on.
I think also they're a little scared of her, and they know she's willing to really expose her business in a way they never will. So they're like, hey, you're willing to do the heavy lifting and we can all kind of feed off you. Let her have it.
And honestly, I kind of hope Ashley leaves, because Ashley gets on my damn nerves.
Ashley has become dead weight after all this time. It's terrible.
Yeah. I'm sick of looking at that apple head lopsided titty job. Okay.
Well, it's sad, but you know they have to go with a discount. Sometimes when you get them discounted jobs, that's just how it turns out. Now, speaking of discounts, I just wanted to comment real quick. When it comes to Teddy's choice of, you know, lovers, whatever, alleged, you got to admit, not only does he bear a striking resemblance to Mr. Ed, but she has some broad-faced qualities too. And that would explain why,
y'all are
as
going to
I
make my
had
face
put,
mask crack.
But, you know, that would explain why she wants to go ahead. And you know how Erica Jane says, pat the puss? She's over there protecting the puss for Mr. Ed. So that's why it explains her and Kyle, since now Kyle has decided to be lesbian-licious, since she finally dropped that dead-ass weight of Mauricio. Pardon my French. And the other thing is, I don't believe that Kyle allowed Mauricio and Dorit to do anything or encouraged it. Because if you notice, once those rumors started coming out, Kyle was very cold to Dorit. So I think that around the time that PK started having that money trouble, you know, he's always had money trouble and everything. But but it started getting really bad. Dorit figured, let me move from one scammer to the other. He may have lawsuits just like my old coot, but at the end of the day, he still has a bit of change and another TV show. So it was just a simple move over, and she's messy and lazy. We all know that.
Oh, yeah, very much so. And I mean, it's the fact that, and here's the thing, I never used to mind Dorit because she didn't speak, and I always thought she was a one-season wonder. But the more they kept giving her screen time, and the more annoying she got, especially when, and I still don't understand this, and I wish someone at BravoCon would have asked her why she felt the need to go after Garcel on
I think
Garcel's
she
first
thought,
season on the show.
I think the whole thing with that is there's a couple of reasons and I have suspicions of. One is that, you know, when it comes to the, just to get go back real quick to the Lisa Vanderpump thing, I think they got rid of her just because at the time she was the most popular one and they were
Mhm.
jealous. So
Yeah,
they're like, let's go ahead and sink the Titanic. Let's get her off of here so we can get more screen time. So
right.
they did that. And I think that Kyle decided she wasn't going to protect her because she wanted to become the, you know, HBIC instead of it being Lisa, who actually had money and, you know, some talent for keeping money the legal way,
Exactly.
as far as we
Exactly.
know. And then when it comes to Garcelle, here comes this beautiful Black lady who's
Yes.
talented, who's well spoken, who's got wonderful kids, who does not need to cling on to a man to have the things that she wants. And I think that that unsettled uh old Connecticut bush over there, what's her name again? Dorit. I think that
Hmm.
that unsettled Dorit. I think there's a bit of jealousy there. I think that she feels like she's entitled after all this time and getting rid of Lisa Vanderpump to do whatever she wants on that show. And because she's been a good little lapdog for all these other women, that she feels like they should back her with her disdain for Garcelle. And there is a lot of, or at least in my opinion, I do believe there is a strain of racism, you know, from there.
I believe
And
I do. I
Exactly.
agree.
It's a
Mhm.
how
yeah,
like I was not ready for this to be. This was an. I was comfortable with this being an all white space,
yes,
and
because then she
now
didn't have to think about what she was doing or how she was treating people. And a lot of them have sort of that dismissive attitude. And, you know, I mean, I myself, I'm a light skinned Hispanic woman.
Mhm.
And there's a saying down south, light, bright, almost white, but you're as still, you know, and then whatever. And they say you pass. So when you do pass, there's some protection in that from the racists that are down here. You know, I'm down in Texas, and
Right.
it's more prevalent in smaller towns. I'm from Houston. Houston's a nice large city. It's pretty welcoming, but you know, some of the smaller towns around, not so great. And so family members, they had this introduction to that racism, and through them I got to see that. And so there's a lot of that where people think that they can just say or treat people or be dismissive of people, and because they're amongst their own, it just carries on and nobody corrects them on it. But then you introduce somebody new, and it's someone who is of a race that you are not familiar with or haven't really had to be around in that way, in a social way. And so, of course, you're going to get called on your BS, you know,
Right.
and Dorit has a lot of that she needs to be called on. Personally, I'd like to yank her up by her hair and get her off that show. I'm tired of looking at her skinny butt.
Well,
I am.
I think yeah, because she's lost. There was a picture of her in a two-piece, and she is just skin and bones and breast.
I
There's
feel very bad for her. I mean, that's got to hurt her back with having all them cushions on her.
I think that this divorce is really getting to her. I think that at one point, from what was said, she was on the chopping block because she was not honest about what was going on between her and PK. And if you go
Yes.
back, here's the thing, a lot of
And
people
she
don't.
used that story, that robbery, pardon me, she used that
Mhm.
robbery as a deflection so that she did not have to go into what was going on with her and PK. And remember, there was that video put out those years ago where that woman was chasing her by the pool, trying to get her to admit what was going on about PK taking money,
Yeah,
allegedly.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
I totally remember that. And like I said, one thing I'll say this, I know a lot of people can like take or leave Erica Jane. I like Erica Jane for this reason and this reason only. She smells bullshit. And I remember at the last reunion, Andy had asked Dorit, and I love it. The cameramen are petty. I want to be best friends with the cameramen of Bravo. I'm sorry, I want to. I
Oh,
want to
I
be.
love their playbacks where they
Oh,
show you
also, I
everything.
gotta say this: the cameraman at BravoCon made me want to get into cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was like, oh, oh, why you look so? You need to be in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They were.
that cameraman panned to Erica, and Erica side-eyed that camera, and she was like, "Ain't nothing good going on in that mirror." She just sitting up here lying like she been the whole season.
I like
And
Erica when she's being honest,
Mm-hmm.
but what I don't like is when Erica is trying to cover her own behind and she's
Yeah.
basically just lying and carrying forth the lie that she, the line of BS she had been carrying with her husband, old coot, daddy, whatever.
Right.
I just feel like that right there, that's what I don't like. I understand not being able to comment because of a court case, but don't sit up here and act like you have some empathy when we all know you don't. Please,
And
please
my
don't act like you've changed. I
yeah.
I I just don't like it when they lie and try and make themselves out to be something and not. Be honest. It's supposed to be reality. We know it has a lot of BS, but still, let's have some reality. Show us what an awful person you are. We
And
can
also,
go ahead and take it.
right, but see, here's the thing. This is what Erica did. When all that mess went down between Garcel and her son and the racist behavior,
Oh
right?
my God, that was awful.
Right. She had to change. She had to.
Mm.
Okay. There were no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And actually, too, and I'm not going to say allegedly because Bravo put this statement out. They said
Mhm.
when they find the culprit who said those racist remarks, they were going to fire them. And who got fired? Lisa Rinna.
Mhm.
She got fired. And I think at that point, I think they were all in on it up until it got racial. And
Yeah.
that's when Erica, Dorit, and Kyle pulled away. And they were like, Lisa, you're on your own at this point.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, let's be honest, the time period that we're in right now, what with that cartoon villain being elected, I mean, that whole thing is just the time period we're in allows people to go on ahead and come out and say whatever kind of thing that they're thinking, and it's awful. I can't tell you how many people, friends, and family members I've heard where they're like, I'm going to have to carry my passport. I'm going to
Yeah.
have to do this or that. I remember my friend and I were coming back. We'd come back from London, and this was when, you know, the Mongo was in office. And there was one man who called him a pumpkin spice Putin. I appreciated that,
That's
but
hilarious.
it's wonderful. But he was in office, and we come back in. We get to the airport. We both have Spanish sounding names. We're both, Latina. We get here. Only difference is I passed and she doesn't. And they pulled her and they didn't pull me. And I'm
Wow.
like, this is my travel companion. Where is she going? Why are you asking her these
Mm,
questions?
mm,
What
mm.
is wrong with you? And all I could hear in the back, don't get arrested. I don't give a damn. At this point, it might be a holiday. I'm 40.
Right.
I'm going to be 40. A holiday would be nice.
Right.
Be like Marge Simpson when she was in the pen. So,
Hmm.
you know,
You
but
must have children.
the way people are acting nowadays, I'm like, I'm just going to have to get my taser and let my finger slip a couple of times.
Honestly, what I normally do is when someone tries to act out of pocket like that, I just look at them and I'm like, no, you go back to where you came from because y'all stole this land. Okay.
Yes, yes.
This
I'm
land is
sorry.
not
This is not your land. Did you not pass history class? We're all visitors here. Unless you're
right.
Native American. No, dear. No, no.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
none of them pass government because they don't know how tariff works. And
And
they also don't know
yes.
that Obamacare and ACA are the same damn thing.
Yes.
And they
Yep.
find it out though. They find it out because this is what? Not our lesson to learn.
Yes.
But I'm
Very
finding
true.
it funny how Melania, she ripped into Donald Trump. I just read it on Instagram. She was like, I'm not staying in that White House. She said, I don't know why you ran again. I'm not doing it. Our son is not staying there. And she says,
Hmm.
and as a matter of fact, none of his kids are going to stay there because I know Ivanka, I think she testified against him with the whole insurrection.
That mess was that was a travesty. The fact that the GOP, and GOP my behind, but the fact that the GOP can stand up here, say that they're for a patriotism, and then defend people who went in, trashed one of the greatest halls of our democracy, and say nothing about it is disgusting. What's
And
also disgusting is the fact, and I don't know where other people stand, but in my opinion, what is also disgusting is that these are also the same people, the same party that will say, well, there's too much government interference, there's too much this and that. Why are you not saying that when it comes to women's right to have a discussion with their doctor and keep it private?
right,
Why do we not get a choice?
right.
This is ridiculous. Living in a state where, the cities are very democratic, the more rural areas are more of a GOP area, Republican area, and that's really what takes the state. And we've had a lot of people move here thinking that this is some conservative heaven, and I mean, they've just turned it into a hellhole at this point.
Yeah, it
And
really is.
it's terrible, but you can't have it both ways. You cannot
Mm-mm.
have it both ways. You can't say we need less government oversight and then turn around and say, but we want to go ahead and tell this woman, you know, that she can't have an abortion, that
Right.
because her health is in danger, she cannot go to her doctor and have this done. And if they go to a place out of state, we want to see her medical records. That's a violation. What is wrong with you
That
people?
is a HIPAA violation.
Exactly. And yet they're still suing for it. In the state of Texas, they were suing for it. They were
No, and
suing
that's
for these women's medical records. I
mm-mm.
hate these people because
And
it's just disgusting.
and the thing of it is, this is where I stand on abortion. Do I believe in it? No. However, as a woman, it is a woman's choice. We do not know the reason why she is deciding to have it. It could be a child of incest.
Exactly.
It could,
Exactly.
okay. It could be, it could be, like you said, health reasons.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's not, there are good reasons as to why women will go and have one. It's not what a lot of people are thinking. Again,
Yes.
I don't believe in it. However, I'm going to support you because of the circumstance that happened. I'm not going to
E-
be preachy. I'm not going to condemn
Exactly.
you. I'm just going to be like, you know where I stand, but we're friends. So I'm going to support you. So I'll be right there holding your hand when it's happening.
Well, and the thing is too is that this is also a party that touts that this is a Christian nation, and no, it's not.
No.
This was meant to be a nation that of Christians, not a Christian nation. There is a difference.
Yep.
And the people who came here were escaping their own type of religious persecution. So, of course, that's why it's the First Amendment that supports people's right to have their own religion. But, they always, it does say in the Bible, judge not lest ye be judged.
That's right.
And yet here's everybody lining up to throw a rock. It's like, what is wrong with people? The comprehension level that I've seen is so low, and of our fellow Americans is so low, and it's devastating. It's absolutely
And they want to
devastating
get
to us.
rid of the Department of Education.
Oh yeah, and unless
When
they're
that
taking my
needs to
school
be
loans with it, then I don't want to have that.
We
When
need
it's
we
ridiculous.
need the Department of Education. Are
We do.
y'all not seeing the hmm, I'm not going to say it, but are y'all not seeing the type of folks that are running around out here?
Mhm. I mean,
Okay.
I work in education. I've worked in various aspects of education, and those grants that they give allow so many students of color, of different minority backgrounds, of different
Yep.
economic backgrounds to come in and to learn. It allows universities and other schools to make great use of these funds by purchasing the items that we need to teach these students so that they can be tomorrow's engineers, so that they can be tomorrow's teachers and the people who are going to teach more children. And the fact that they're more concerned about test scores and whatever else in certain areas rather than paying attention to comprehension and understanding and actually teaching is a terrible, terrible disservice to our country.
Yeah.
And that is at the root of, in my opinion, that is at the root of a lot of things that are going wrong, including a part of what plays into these election results, because you have so many people who are voting against their own interest and
because they're
don't even
misinformed.
exactly. They don't
Because they
understand
don't
what's being
even know
talked
the
about.
3 branches of government.
I
And
know.
that's scary.
It is.
It's like,
It is. It's
how
very
do you
scary.
not know how this works? But on that note, I want to thank y'all for joining me. This has been a fabulous conversation. Rich
I'm sorry.
and varied. No, don't be sorry. That's what this is for. Rich and varied conversation with interesting people. Thank you so much for joining me. And come on again anytime, and I will see y'all soon.
All right. Well, I have to